A simple glass of water. Ever wonder where it comes from? Well, if you're one of the 3.5 million people in the greater Phoenix area, it probably came from right here, the Verde River. Not only is water a virtual lifeline for metropolitan Phoenix, the Verde River drainage is the main source of water for the population in the Prescott-Chino and the Verde Valley area. But today, the Verde River is facing several challenges that, left unchecked, will affect our state and future generations to come. Groundwater pumping from the Big Chino Aquifer, supporting an ever-increasing population in Yavapai County, excess water diverted from the river for irrigation of crops and landscaping. Finally, compounding the problem, present-day drought, all resulting in less water flow through Arizona's Wild and Scenic section and to supply Metro Phoenix's growing water needs. From its emergence at Sullivan Lake, north of Prescott, Arizona, and flowing free for the next 178 miles, the Verde River is unique and one of the last of its kind. Its drainage basin encompasses over 6,600 square miles, roughly the size of New Jersey, and of that, over 70% is national forest land. It's important to understand that these woodlands play an integral part in the life of the Verde River and in our water supply. They help absorb rainfall and snowmelt, slow storm runoff, provide erosion control, and provide critical habitat for wildlife. The Verde is divided into three distinct areas. The upper, fed by the Big Chino Aquifer, Granite, and Sycamore Creek. The middle, fed by Coconino and Redwall aquifers, Oak, Beaver, and West Clear Creek, and the lower, fed by Fossil Creek and the East Verde River. In turn, all of the creeks are fed by hundreds of smaller tributaries throughout the entire Verde drainage basin. You may also notice evidence of past Native American cultures here. In fact, the Verde River is known for having one of the highest concentrations of archaeological sites in the United States. Remember to observe only, because disturbing any sites is against the law. At the headwaters of the Verde River and the top of the Upper Verde area, you'll find the Nature Conservancy's Verde River Springs Preserve. In 2008, the Wells family, the Conservancy, and other partners made an agreement that will forever protect this 470 acres surrounding the headwaters of the Verde. Surrounded by high canyon walls, the Upper Verde River area is rugged and beautiful. Not easily accessed with vehicles, you'll find hiking through this area an unforgettable experience, and not for the novice. Desolate and primitive, you'll have the opportunity to experience a part of Arizona that is rarely seen by others. Downstream at the Stewart Ranch measuring gauge, it's readily apparent that water levels have dropped. Normally flowing at 17 CFS, we see that due to drought and pumping of water out of the Big Chino Aquifer, flow has been reduced to 15 CFS. Approximately 40 miles downstream from Paulden, the Verde River intersects with the railroad at the Perkinsville Ranch. Now known as the turnaround point for the Verde Canyon Railroad, Perkinsville is also notable because it is the site of the Goldtown train depot scenes in John Ford's epic Western homage, How the West Was Won. Approximately 20 miles later, you'll come to a flatter area, which is designated as the Middle Verde and the beginning of the Verde Valley. A 40-mile-long corridor with over 75,000 inhabitants. The Verde River is the sole source for the entire population's home, business, and irrigation needs. Within this corridor is the Verde River Greenway, encompassing Arizona State Park's Dead Horse Ranch, Forest Service, and Conservancy properties. The Verde River Greenway is the only state-designated greenway. It brings together towns and cities, landlords and public agencies to improve the recreational and natural values of the river. The corridor supports nearly 20 threatened or endangered species, including the river otter, bald eagles, southwestern willow flycatchers, and lowland leopard frogs. Also, you'll find the very rare Fremont cottonwood gooding willow habitat, the rarest type of forest in North America, of which only 20 of these habitats are left today. Settled by European settlers in the mid-1800s, and also having a military fort, this region was quickly irrigated for farming to support both the soldiers and the miners in the town of Jerome just to the west. Irrigation has long been part of this landscape. The ancient Hohokam people built irrigation systems to grow food along the Verde as far back as 600 AD. Today, more than 30 ditches or canals can deliver water to landowners throughout the valley. The Nature Conservancy and its partners work to install new automated ditch systems powered by solar energy. The system monitors the ditch's flow rate, adjusting automatically to keep levels consistent. The unneeded water is returned to the river. That's good for the health of the river and the plants and wildlife it supports. The Shield Ranch was one of the first homesteads settled as a farm in the Verde Valley in the mid-1800s. Located at the confluence of the Verde River and West Clear Creek, this property sustains a lush riverside plant and animal community, a biologically important property in the Verde Valley adjacent to the river and between the Prescott and Coconino National Forests. In 2010, the Nature Conservancy and its partners made a significant step toward the protection of the Verde River through its acquisition of the historic Shield Ranch. Leaving civilization behind once more, you'll begin the last and longest leg of the journey. Here the river and its canyons wind back and forth through some of Arizona's least explored wilderness. This is the area of the Lower Verde, also known as the Wild and Scenic. Designated by Congress as having outstanding natural, cultural, and recreational values in a free-flowing condition for the enjoyment of present and future generations. Like the Upper Verde, this area is desolate and remote, extending into the Sonoran Desert. This area can reach high temperatures in the summertime. With limited vehicle accessibility, one of the best ways to view the area is by rafting. Not for the inexperienced, here travelers by river will encounter over a dozen sets of rapids. It is recommended to find a reputable tour company for this part of the journey. Also, because of bald eagle nesting sites, some of the river will be closed part of the season. Here again, the Verde River faces the challenge of sustainable flow for recreational use. In fact, many companies that have given tours through the Wild and Scenic are unable to continue because of low water. Down the river and just south of the confluence of Fossil Creek, you'll find Verde Hot Springs and the Childs Power Plant. The Verde Hot Springs Resort sprang up in the early part of the 20th century and featured a posh resort hotel where guests could enjoy natural hot spring baths. Next, you will travel by the confluence of the East Verde River. This river is the drainage for dozens of tributaries that extends northeastward into the Mogollon Rim country. Finally, after 178 miles, we've arrived at our final destination, Horseshoe Reservoir, northeast of Phoenix. We've just witnessed the beauty, awe, and splendor of nature's wilderness. But we are now facing challenges to one of our last free-flowing rivers in the state of Arizona. The Verde River is being assaulted daily to support our ever-increasing population. We have seen the result of pumping from Big Chino Aquifer, water loss through outdated irrigation systems, and the heightened effects this has during this drought. Without help, all predictions forecast a dire future for the Verde and Arizona residents. Thanks for watching this special presentation, brought to you by the Nature Conservancy.
You can make a difference today and help one of Arizona's last free-flowing rivers, its inhabitants, and the people that rely on this critical supply of life-giving water. Go to the Nature Conservancy website at www.nature.org/Arizona now and become a member. For more than 40 years, the Nature Conservancy has been working with local communities, businesses, and people like you to pioneer solutions that sustain Arizona's fresh water, forests, important lands, wildlife, and our quality of life. The world we depend on now depends on us.